to be generated in the bill of materials and all those things. Okay, now since we are discussing about the parameters and you know all these like editing and all, for editing we'll just type the length. Suppose if this is a box and the box length is 1 meter, what we do? 1000 along length we do. And when you press enter, automatically it will toggle to the width. Width, the box is of say 1/4 meter, 250. You can make it like this. And height is say 200. Double click to zoom. This is our box. And you can toggle, say if the length is 500, you can toggle this way. Okay, right. So we understood how to create a box by typing the dimensions manually. There is another way to directly give all the dimensions, that is length, width and height. For that we have to go to the edit size box. Edit size box will allow you to specify all the dimensions of the box, length, width and height, like this here itself. So as I mentioned, if the length of the plank is say 100, width is 500 and thickness is 20, or let it be 10. It will be drawn, it will be created like this. This is how you will have to draw. Now, every dimension, every dimension has got a parameter that we can add it, so that the parameters can be used to drive the design. For example, let me show one example of a model which we have done recently. So first we will understand with an example, then we will learn how to add the parameters. You see here there is a wooden like wooden box. Basically, it is a box with all these planks and other things. So this is parametrically designed in such a way that after I open that model, I still have the options to change the sizes by using the design variation. Like if I want to the basic size, like say 21, 20, 11, all I can do is like just select whichever size I wanted. That will change to that particular size like this. Similarly, manually we can also edit these dimensions by going to add. I want my custom dimension, that is whichever I wanted. For example, 32, say 30.7. With generate, the model is going to be updated accordingly. See here, you want to know the difference, and just create one more copy, and then design variation. See here how it is getting varied. And the variations can also be controlled by giving the relation between the length, number of planks which has to be updated as per the length of the major dimension. All those things can also be controlled. And how did we create that? If we have a look at the parameter, first we start with the master parameters for the scene without linking to any model. So I request your kind attention. Please pay attention, because this is something which you have to first understand the logic the way the application takes, and then how we can create our own designs. So to come up with such type of designs, first we will first we will enter into a new scene. Select your 3D scene uh, template. Select your 3D scene template. Now drag, drag the box. So before adding the box, what we can do is, for the scene itself, for the model itself, add three parameters. Say length, we can specify the value type like length, angle, and a scalar. The difference is it will take the value in the length format, it will take it in the degree, and scalar means it will be a constant number, like uh, rounded off number, like for numbers and other things. So here I'm not giving anything. Length, width, height. So these three you have to create as a master file. Okay, this may not be a part of your project, but you can use it while creating the template itself, so that these parameters can be linked whenever you want it. What we will do, we'll just extrude a box, and length I wanted. See here we have a length. Now whatever the length I'm giving it in that, if I want the same thing over here, just say create parameters. I'll show once again. Please look at this handle. Right click on the length handle and say create parameter. So if you are giving the same parameter which you have defined it for the master model, it will not duplicate, but we will add one more suffix. For example, if I say L, still it will take L, but in the entire list of parameters, it will show as L2, because the first L is already taken. That's why, to differentiate, what you can do is, like, you can specify BL or length, something like this. And remember, understanding this parameter, I mean the nomenclature is also important. We are giving length, and here we are giving width, width, and here it is the height. You can just specify HEI, something like this. How do we check the parameters? See, when you without selecting anything, right click and say parameters. It will show the default parameters. And if you want to see the all parameters, then select this show all parameters. This will list out all parameters. Right now, what is this value? These are the initial values: 50, 38, 27. Now, since I want the design to be driven with respect to this length, width, height, what will what you need to do is link up the length parameter with the len, and link up the height parameter, sorry, the width parameter with this, and height like this. And currently you see that it has changed to 0. From here we can drive the design, like 1000, 500, and then 250. Automatically these values gets assigned to your model like this. And if for testing, you just open up the parameters once again. Even if you turn this off, still the parameters will be assigned but not shown. Okay, if I make it 500 by 250 by 150, the moment you say apply, the model gets updated. These parameters you can also add it to the catalog. Suppose I have this part with the parameters already defined. If you enter into this is a part, and this is our save this as a master template, because the template has the parameters already defined, LW with the, now I'm just saving this model, master master file. So you can use the same master file whenever you are creating a new part. And what is the advantage of having this catalog is that when you open up a new, when you insert, the parameters will automatically be visible. These parameters are already assigned. So you can repeat the same thing. Whenever you are creating a box, you can repeat the same thing like this. Okay. Now this time, let us modify. And you might get a doubt. When you double click, it is asking to specify the length. What if I try to change the length to 1000? It is taking. See here. Why? Because remember, whatever the model that we created, that expression, whatever we added, only that is going to be taking. So this is 1000. This is 20. Width is 100. Right? Show all parameters. Now let us create multiple copies of this. Use the pattern tool. The pattern tool will create pattern tool will also add number and distance as the parameters automatically. So I'm making it, and should be Similarly, if you add one more drag and drop, or use the same thing. You just drag and drop it. 90. 2 point. I hope you know this tribal movements and all. Just we can use the tribal to easily locate. Okay. Now let us try out a small experiment on this. Yeah. Thanks for the confirmation. So here, see, I want to give a relation between the bottom plank to the top length such a way that the number of the spacing between these two pallets should be uh, equally distributed. You understood? Suppose if I give 5, if I give 5, you can see there is a gap. Why? Because here the manually I have given the length, but I want to control it through relation. How we can do that? Let us see that. So now when you list down all the parameters, you got to see this. So my overall length will be 1000. This will be 250, and the height should be width should be 100, and the height should be 20. Is automatically applied to this, right? Now here what I wanted is the distance. The distance is that is the spacing. How much it should be? It should be 1000 divided by number. So please pay attention here. My length. So this is the total. From the total, I have to subtract the width of this. How many? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the total of this thing, minus how many times? Number times. Because you know 5, you can type 5. But if you want number also to be varying, then you have to give number. Number times width. Width. Okay. That will give me the leftover space. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which I have to divide. Which I have to divide. So divided by number minus 1. So what is the overall length? 1000 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500 is 500 divided by 4. Some mistake I made. Just okay, okay. So that is going to be from the point from here to here. You understood? That is a start to start. From this point to this point, it is 125. It is taking, but actually it is supposed to be a addition of the length. You see here. Understood? Like that, it will be updated. What is this parameters? It has gone somewhere. Okay, let us save this. Yeah. हम्म, हाँ होना है ना. That is the relation that we give. हाँ वही देख रहा हूँ वो ये ये जो नहीं मैनुअल में नहीं डाला. रिलेशन दिया ना हमने. वो मैं दिखाऊंगा आपको. The parameters window got somewhere locked. हाँ। देखिए अभी अगर मैं लेंथ को 1500 डाल रहा हूँ, देखिए स्पेसिंग अपडेट हुआ, ये लेंथ क्यों नहीं हुआ, इसका रिलेशन नहीं दिया क्या? हाँ इसको दिया ना हमने, फिल अपडेट नहीं हुआ। मैंने इसको L2 दे रहा हूँ, L2। अच्छा, अब समझ में आया मेरे को, वो ये तो अपडेट हो रहे हैं लेकिन वो इसका जो लॉक सेंटर है ना, इसका प्रॉपर्टीज फ्रॉम द एंकर है, इसलिए हमको ऐसे आ रहा है। उसके क्या करना है फिर से? 1500 किया मैंने। पता नहीं ये अपडेट नहीं हो रहा या रिलेशन नहीं दे रहा है। मेजरमेंट में जाके 1000 ही है। ठीक है, L2 दे रहा हूँ, L2। अब आएगा 800, देखा? 800, 1200 अपडेट हो रहा है। तो एक बार ये रिलेशंस देखिए, आपको पता चलेगा, समझ में आएगा मैं क्या क्या किया। ये रहा अपना मास्टर पैरामीटर, मतलब जो भी पूरा डिजाइन का जो भी आपका प्रोडक्ट है ना, आपका इनपुट साइज फिक्स रहता है, मतलब ओवरऑल साइज के हिसाब से बाकी जो प्रोडक्ट्स का अंदर जो भी कंपोनेंट्स है उसका साइज ओवरऑल साइज के हिसाब से अपडेट होता है। तो ओवरऑल साइज हम इनपुट पैरामीटर्स बोलते हैं, उसको LWH दे करके हमने सेव किए। इसके बाद एक sorry, after that we dragged and dropped a box and then we assigned the parameters further. तो समझ में आया या फिर से बताऊं मैं?
Hello.
Okay, so in these parameters if you have anything, ask me.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I'm having a doubt.
Ah,
We use the two links, sir, no, two lanes actually.
okay.
In parameter, we can see two lanes are there of 200, 1200 mm.
Yes, yes.
So, will it be difficult for the
Okay,
procedure?
actually it has to take automatically because you
Yeah,
see,
but we created two
ah,
new parameters for that
that's
change.
what I'm saying. What actually we need not create L2 because the moment I select length 1, it is automatically showing
Hmm.
length 1, length 2. So if it is showing, that means it has to update. But the relation it is not taking internally. I don't know whether it is a bug or something. So as a best practice, what you can do is instead of worrying about the automatic parameters which got generated, you can add that will double sure for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to update in scene and in parameters also.
Why? Because what I have done is I just added into catalog and then reused it. That's why it came along with the parameter.
Okay.
If you draw directly a box, then you can select that handle, right click, create parameter, link it up.
ओके इफ पॉसिबल कैन वी मतलब फिर से कर सकते हैं क्या अगर शॉर्ट में करना चाहे तो
हाँ,
फिर से कर सकते हैं क्या अगर करना चाहिए ये प्रोसेस तो
बिल्कुल. So I will go in a simple way. So remove this object where this is not needed. Okay. See, I've opened a new file, drag and drop it. Even now, I'm not entering any master parameters also. Just directly, yeah, here, this is a length. What I will say, create a parameter. I'll say L1, right?
ओके
Okay. And this is going to be my L2. And look for the direction also. See, when the positive value, whatever you are giving, it is going
या
backwards. So select the opposite handle, this handle. Do not select this one.
ओके
Yeah. So create parameter. I'll say W1. Why I am
वापस
giving L1 W1 instead of giving LW is uh, I want to keep LWH as a master parameter.
ओके
That is the reason.
यस यस
Now here we will say height H1. Now let us test by driving these parameters.
म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये बरेच पार्ट आहे ना त्यामुळे त्यानं ते 1 सिरीज 1 2 3
See, value I'm giving 1000, that is 1 meter. Okay, width is 100, so 100 mm. Height is 20. Got it? Now we will add one more. I'll just drag and drop it here. I'll drop it as a part. This also you know, na? Like we use right click to drag and drop.
Okay.
Ah. Here, make sure the like I want the length to be
Mm-hmm.
I want the length to be in this direction. So height should be upward. Hmm. So what I'm trying to do is like I'll make sure length
Mm.
is pointing in this direction, width is in this, and height is right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we will add a length. This is for L2.
L2.
This is width. This
W2.
is my height. H2. Right?
पैरामीटर्स के लिए जो एंड्स पकड़ दे
हाँ
वो एंड्स फ्रीज रहेंगे और उसका अपोजिट का पोर्शन है वो बढ़ेगा, ऐसे इसलिए वो पकड़ रहे हैं ना।
हाँ ऐसा ही.
ओके ओके।
So here I have L2. What I will make here
W2.
is I'll make this as L1. Suppose if you want it like that. Okay, anyway, I don't want you to confuse with this because mm, in nowhere these two will be interlinked, right? Unless if it is a square box. So just type 1,000,
बोला था
120.
लगता है करते हैं.
नहीं, अभी बंद किया हो, डाउट पूछे इसलिए।
Here one more thing, if you might have noticed that if you are changing the width or length. So instead of 1,000, if I give 2,000, it is changing symmetrically like this. Why it is happening so? To understand that, first let us fix this tribal center to this location, and then bring it like this.
Big scale. Free scale.
Okay.
Corner.
Now, this may be something like say 800. I don't want to be full. You notice if I'm changing the value, it is changing symmetrically. Instead of 800, if I make it say 500, it is symmetrical. But I don't want it that way. तो इसके लिए हमें क्या करना है? इसको एडिट में जाइए, इंटरली शेप प्रॉपर्टीज में जाइए, यहाँ पे साइज बॉक्स है ना, साइज बॉक्स का लेंथ एंकर से सिमेट्रिकली एंकर है. We have the anchor as the reference. That means whatever we are giving, it is equally distributed. 500, half, half. So make it start. So if you make it start, what happens? $500. Let me make it 600. Now you see. Vinay. So it is made. We made it 800. समझ में आया मैंने क्या किया? अगर कुछ डाउट है तो बताइए.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So next what we'll do? We'll just create a pattern out of this. We'll use linear pattern. Linear pattern will give 4 as the quantity, 4 or 5. Let me give 5. Let me take it random number. Now you listen carefully how we have to give the relation. So this is the distance. This distance has to be the overall length minus the length of all these plates, the planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 100, right? So what is the length? L. Length of this one, L1. है ना? The length of this is L1. See, this minus the length of all these. How many we have? We have total 5 multiplied by. What is the parameter for this? W. I gave it W. So out of confusion. Okay, I'm making it W2. Width of this divided by divided by the number. What is that number? 5. You can give either 5 or type it as number minus 1. Every expression you have to give it inside the bracket. Now the overall will give us the distance between the spacing between the planks. Like if I am selecting this point, will give from this point to this point. That means I will have to add the width of the plank. Plus width. That will give 225. If for verification, we can just try giving 1500. Apply. Okay. Here also I have to make this change which I did not make. What is that? You have to use IntelliShape size box from the start. Size box. It is from the start only. Okay. Because we are not constrained this, it is doing its job. So if you want to make that at a pixel point, we'll have to use this assembly constraints. Use this position constraint. We have this align, mate, other things. Select these two, which should be aligned, right? We will apply. We'll add one more constraint. These two also should be aligned, and the bottom face has to be aligned, mated. You have to give the mate constraint. So if you say OK, it will be updated. So this is like little bit complex for you to understand, but once you start doing this by understanding the logic, it is easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what you can do before I jump into the other topic, you can start practicing. So afternoon we can continue. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so we can continue at 2 p.m. So until then, what you will do is you take some models of your own, try to add the relations, so that when we join, we can first start with the understanding, like doubts clarification. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay then.